San Clemente, California is the third and final destination for Major League Pickleball Season 1. America's top 100 pickleball players will be on display in this one-of-a-kind team format. This event is loaded with storylines and high stakes. Every point matters, every match matters in this promotion and relegation system. We will dive into that in just a moment. Unique to this event as well, the Super Final lingering in the wings for Monday night. Mother Nature was unkind to us this morning, throwing us into a 3-hour rain delay, but we are so thrilled to have you with us at the beautiful Lifetime Athletic Country Club of San Clemente. Michelle McMahon and Adam Stone in the booth with you. Cameron Blackwood will be joining us from the sideline. Today we will exclusively focus on the 12 challenger level teams. Premier level, of course, begins tomorrow, but we are moments away from first serve between the Miami Pickleball Club and the Arizona Drive from Group A as we dive into the groups. These were randomly selected, and Adam, and we will be progressing through these throughout the day. Which group do you have your eye on here today?
Well, we're obviously going to start off with Group A, and you mentioned it, Michelle. Very important to note, the Utah Black Diamonds in Group A, very solid at the #3 ranking in Challenger. The other 3 teams in the bottom half of the Challenger rankings, but every point, every game matters to figure out who is going to be in the Challenger and the Premier groups for 2024. So regardless of standings in your particular group, every point, every game matters, and you can see it on the players' faces.
And really, Major League Pickleball is bringing that promotion relegation system to American sports fans. It's something unique that we're still learning more about. Here are the odds, though, according to Duper. Arizona Drive with a little edge over the Miami Pickleball Club despite being bottom of the barrel here in the standings for the challenger level. What are you seeing in this one? Some spicy storylines abound between these two teams.
Well, I tell you what, so we have some very interesting storylines. Just about 10 minutes ago, Andreas Seelstrom has a tight back and he will not play the match. Anderson Scarpa is filling in for him for the Arizona Drive, and not to mention Wes Burrows. The Arizona Drive put Wes Burrows on waivers, and he was picked up by the Miami Pickleball Club, and now he is facing his former team in this matchup. Like you said, plenty of storylines all over the place, and we're starting off with a good one in this first matchup.
That's right. Tournament format will begin with group play, which will then progress into single elimination as we move throughout the event. And then, of course, the event final will be taking place on Saturday afternoon. And this is an interesting nuance for this event, Adam, the coin toss. You now have 4 choices. And the relevance of this, as somebody who's very involved for you with the Premier level team, walk us through what some of the strategic moves might be with the different nuances of being able to start with either men's or women's doubles.
Right, exactly right. That is the new option. We had the previous 3. You can choose end, you can choose serve or receive, and then you can choose to react to mixed doubles, which a lot of the teams are going to do. So the new little tidbit is you can put your men's doubles team first if you want to, and I can see some momentum going into mixed doubles and a couple situations where teams might choose to have their men first.
We're moments away from the coin toss. A little bit of weather adversity this morning isn't going to get this pickleball crowd down. We're still thrilled to be here in Southern California. It seems like every event that Major League Pickleball has, the next event does one better. And we are thrilled to have you with us here in San Clemente, California. So if you were advising these two teams, Adam, based on the players available, what would you tell them to select here in the coin toss, starting with, say, the Arizona Drive, based on the newest injury adversity there?
Right, so I don't, for me personally, think that is going to affect the decision, and I would still look for the team that wins the coin toss for their first selection to be to react to mixed doubles to get the matchup that they are hoping for. And remember, when you do react to mixed doubles, you do have to put your singles lineup first in the Dream Breaker, but there's always a chance we don't make it to that Dream Breaker if one team is able to win 3-1 or 4-0, Michelle.
We're going to listen in on the coin toss as it's taking place now. Sarah Ansbury and Alex Trung, the captains.
Guys, the AZ Drive won the coin toss.
they will make the first decision.
And Sarah Ansberry discussing with team coach and GM Morgan Evans what the best choice was.
Chooses their women's doubles matchup.
Back to traditional format. What do you think about that decision?
A little interesting.
So now we'll go back and forth on both sides.
Miami Pickleball Club has chosen to react in mixed doubles.
There you go.
That was the decision you were looking for.
Right. So that is just not crazy surprising, just a little surprising.
Explain what the react means for our new viewers that are.
So your opponent has to pick their first mixed doubles team, and then you get to pick whichever team that you would like to go up against them. It could be a matchup. Right. It could be a matchup situation. It could be dependent on the team score that wants you to put your A team or your B team first. A lot of strategery going on between these teams, not just on the court, but before the match even starts, Michelle.
And so, first serve is upon us momentarily. We'll begin with women's doubles. That is the partnership of Sarah Ansberry and Jeannie Irakina, and Alex Chong and Regina Goldberg. And Miami's an interesting story for a lot of reasons. They only got 2 event points in Mesa. They came storming back and got 12 in Daytona. Here's the head-to-head in women's doubles. Win probability in favor of Sarah Ansberry. But this is an interesting matchup to me. I feel like Miami could have a good shot here in this one.
Definitely. I think if you stood Trong and Franco on top of each other, they might be the same height as Irakina. She has a crazy reach. There is a lot of legs and arms moving around, and I don't mean that in a bad way from her. Very awkward to play, and she has some really nice hands and some really nice shot making. Her being a replacement player, I think she is a really interesting pick to click and see what she brings early in this match.
Brendan Long made a name for himself in Daytona Beach. He not only played for his team in Miami, but also made a name for himself with the New York Hustlers when Tyson McGuffin went down. He was their selection there, and his stock on the rise here with Major League Pickleball. So this event is packed with high stakes, Adam, not only for the teams to get as many event points as they can to have their best shot at getting into the Premier League for 2024, but these players, they're trying to raise their draft stock because after this event, guess what? We go back to the drawing board, and the Premier level players will be drafted. Many of these Challenger level players hoping to get their crack at a Premier level slot. What do you think from a GM perspective of a Premier level team going to the Challenger? What's your perspective on what everything means here in San Clemente?
Totally true, and let's not forget that where you're drafted gives you a little pay increase in increments. So to make sure that you're drafted a little higher in the Premier or possibly drafted in the Premier from the Challenger is very, very important. And this is a unique first year as the ownership groups will switch between the Premier and the Challenger 3 matches each before they are set in stone for the 2024 season. So, I mean, just a lot of moving parts here, a lot of different things going on, and we're just going to have to see where it all settles, Michelle.
Yeah, to your point, Adam, if you're just joining us here in San Clemente, there are 24 total teams, 12 in Premier level, 12 in Challenger level. These events are going to determine where these teams will land for 2024. So the GMs are invested, the owners are invested, everyone's sort of figuring out the system together and the strategies heading into the second draft this season that will be taking place in July. And this is going to be a thrilling matchup.
Yes, and Michelle, also important to know, a lot of these teams, of the 24 total teams, have the same 4 players throughout the 3 events. These 2 teams out here,
great point.
Each team only has 2 original players from the draft. So and that makes a lot of sense because they're a little lower in the standing. So you're trying to mix it up. You're trying to find a new partnership or a new something that gels together. Sealstrom and Ansberry are the only members from the Arizona Drive originally, and now he's out. So Ansberry is the lone original drafted player for the Arizona Drive. And of course, both men, Brendan Long and Wes Burrows, were also not drafted with Miami PC. So very interesting.
Let's take a look at some of the new rules as we head into this women's doubles matchup, Adam. Teams can now choose, as we just saw, men's or women's, though the Arizona Drive still opted to put their women's out first, obviously feeling most confident there. We will have on-site paddle testing. Paddles that fail will be confiscated, and that is the end of that. Seating number 1 and 2 seeds in knockout rounds must come from different groups, and explain why that's a big deal.
Yes, no, that is a new rule, and so there's also a rule where if you were in the elimination rounds, they're gonna mix up the seeding if you had already played that team in the pool play. So there a couple new rules, and it's gonna change the elimination bracket quite a bit, Michelle.
And that's what we love about Major League Pickleball is they tweak things to make it work. If it doesn't work, they'll scrap it. If it does work, we're ever evolving. Dom Catalano in the crowd with us today. He'll be in the booth later on this afternoon, big timing us with his sunglass vibes, new kicks. What's up, Dom? For Miami, and we are underway.
Game 1, time 0-0.
The receiver, Jeannie Arokina. Big swing from Trong right out of the gate. How nervous are these players to be the first match on here on Championship Court?
Well, I can't speak for them, but if I was out there, I certainly would be. So it helps clear out that nervousness with a big two-hander.
Answered back with another two-handed backhand, Jeannie Arokina.
1-1.
This is rally scoring, games to 21, win by 2. We'll have a freeze on 18. We'll explain that when we get there. Just wide for Ansbury. Point and serve returns to Miami.
Yeah, quick little firefight there early in the match, won by the Miami Pickleball Club. Yeah, important to note, the players will not be changing sides. You can only switch sides on an end change or a timeout. Really nice job by Arokina using her link to take that dink, cross-court dink out of the air, taking the time away from Regina Goldberg. Once again, the length of Arokina as she was in trouble on that attack from Alex Strong. Nice job by her, able to get that ball back in play.
A lot on the line here for Arizona. Just one event point for them in Daytona. They need this one to climb up from the basement. Wide again for Chong. The drive taking an early lead in game 1.
Emphatic out call from Sarah Ansbury, legend of the game.
Another error. Miami getting tight here early, and points are valuable here in rally scoring. Traditional side-out scoring gives you a little bit of leverage when you're the serving team anyway. Just wide, it looks like the call was. Ansbury looking for clarification. Nope, ball was called good.
Remember, can't ask the ref. They can't help you. So that's why we have this challenge system in place, Michelle. A little different than a traditional tournament.
And we do have improved technology on the lines as well from Major League Pickleball with the cameras that will give us much clearer views on whether balls were in or out. We'll profile that as soon as it becomes a topic. Patient point. Chong and Goldberg get the point and take the side out. And that was a big one for them to halt the run of the Arizona drive. Oh, Arokina hits an out ball.
Yes, so Sarah Ansbury letting her know she thought it was going out. I guess we will never know as Arokina unable to pull the paddle back. Quite a few middle dinks early in this match. Michelle, we've seen the strategy more and more throughout the pro level, not giving your opponents angles, not pulling them out wide to give them offensive opportunities.
Big swings for Arokina, sets up Sarah Ansberry on the finish. Here come the drives up by 2.
Yeah, really nice pressure from the kitchen line. Trong and Goldberg, very good scrappers in the midcourt, but too much pressure from the drive.
Hit it! Side out.
Hang in there, Jeannie. Hang in there.
6-7.
Big finish for Goldberg with a two-handed backhand.
Yeah, really good combination. The initial counterattack from Ansberry was not terrible, but Regina Franco Goldberg right on that next ball. Well played, Miami Pickleball Club.
Reset there from Jeannie Arokina. How challenging is it for Arokina to jump on a new team like this, high stakes, and jump into a new partnership?
I'm going to say very.
Oh, wow. Just back. Looked like that ball almost could have dropped in.
Yeah, I think they might be considering a challenge. But I tell you what, if you're going to jump in the mix, who better to do it with than a veteran of the game, a consistent player who is not going to beat themselves and also has a good mind for the game, a great teacher of pickleball. So if you're going to jump right in the mix, it might as well be with Sarah Ansberry.
Goldberg with the serve, and there's speculation on the court because
She's serving it. You're asking. We're still in conversation and she served. You called it. You called it? You called the score. You called the score. Use the rules. Go talk to the crowd.
Ansberry giving the frustrated smile.
because Goldberg served that. She was not the correct server. Trong now takes back the serve. We have some chaos on the.
Looks like Morgan Evans is calling for a timeout from the sideline.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Let's regroup.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I was trying to figure it out. I'm not so sure what happened.
The problem was, right, Regina Franco goes back to serve. It was the incorrect server, but perhaps she served before they called the score, and so Arokina misses the return, and she's saying that should be a point.
Sure,
right?
And they were kind of trying to figure out whether to challenge that lob on the baseline, so there was a slight delay, so I think it threw off the rhythm of everything.
But if that was the incorrect server there, then
yes.
Okay, so they got the point.
So
I see. Okay. So the break was on whether or not they challenged. Then Goldberg serves, misses the return, and they're like, "What the heck? We weren't ready to return that ball yet." I see. Got it.
So we'll get it situated. I think it was a savvy move from the sideline just to halt play for 1 minute, regroup, refocus after an awkward situation there. So they're professionals out here. They'll get back in the mix. Everything will be just fine.
And what are some of the things you mentioned, Ansberry, one of the veterans of the sport? What are some of the things you could do as a new partnership to make your partner feel comfortable when you are one of the veterans of the game?
Certainly, it's just going to be a lot of communication. And remember, Ansberry's playing the left, so she has some responsibility in the middle, but Arokina with those long levers might possibly get her backhand in the middle as well. So communication is going to be paramount for this new team, and Ansberry, one of the more vocal players on court, saying yours, mine, and things of that nature. So I'm maybe not a seamless transition, but probably in the best situation to communicate well out there.
Trong will take back the serve and the 1 point lead to Ansberry. Down the middle for Arokina. That was a crucial timeout call. Tie game.
Yeah, and she didn't really release and fully swing at any of those shots. So nice spin, nice mid-paced attacks placed at the feet.
Just wide again. Point and serve to Miami.
Yeah, she definitely goes a little more linear on some of her drops, meaning more aggressive, might make a couple more errors, but definitely sets up her partner nicely with some of those drops.
Down the middle for Ansberry. A good place to go. Trong saying that was her bad, stepping in.
And then look at that. See, that's some nice communication. Sarah Ansberry called that early, and Irakina held off and allowed her to get that ball.
Big swing from Trong to speed up the pace. Ansberry storms to the sideline as we will have an end change. First team to 11, the Arizona drive. We will flip ends and resume play. So far, any sequence or patterning that's standing out to you so far, Adam?
No, not really. I believe, I mean, this is one of the biggest events. This is the first match. I think that all 4 players have a small amount of nerves going on. So we really haven't seen too many very extended rallies. So I think that these players are going to clean it up a little bit more as this matches progress, and then we can maybe uncover some patterns that might be working or not working for each team.
What are some of the things you can do to unwind some of the nerves on both sides?
Right.
You've been here before.
Yes, absolutely true. I don't think that there's a perfect recipe, but what I would like to do is actually play a little softer at the beginning and get into a rhythm. Hit some balls. If you just fire away, never really find your contact point in those consistent touches, I think it's a little harder to get out of those nerves. So getting a lot of touches, a lot of balls, getting to the kitchen and hitting some dinks can really alleviate some nerves.
Into the net goes Ansberry. All tied up again. Miami has some iconic owners. Naomi Osaka, Nick Kyrgios, Patrick Mahomes, just to name a few. Net bounce, they'll take it. Miami takes back the lead.
12-11.
Tough break there off the let cord. Regina Franco Goldberg in a pretty good spot to be offensive either way.
Ansberry big in the kitchen, and she is commanding her side, and a big step in a couple of times there.
Yeah, Miami Pickleball Club just couldn't get a ball down, couldn't make it bounce. All of those shots taken out of the air from the drive.
Hits an out ball and then hits one herself.
Yep, happens at the pro level too, Michelle. So her partner tried to call her off, but man, it's tough to pull that paddle back in those firefights.
Back tied at 13 on both sides. Down the middle for Irakina. That's the long reach that you mentioned. That height is definitely an advantage for her. She will take back the serve to Goldberg.
14-13.
Slightly interesting choice with the mid-court lob from Irakina.
14-14.
One of Irakina's favorite pickleball memories was playing pickleball at an after party at Leonardo DiCaprio's house. How about that, Michelle?
Just casual. Big pressure from Goldberg and Trong, now taking a 2-point lead.
Yeah, not a bad overhead from Irakina, but Trong right there.
Good drop from Goldberg.
Yeah, it's a tough break. I think that skidded off the line, Michelle. You can see Trong kind of looking down at the court afterwards. So sometimes when those dinks, especially with backspin, really skid.
One we've seen so far this game. Both sides heating up.
I told you they were going to find their rhythm in the second half of this game. That point is a perfect example. A little bit of everything from the ladies.
Irakina seemed to be finding her firefight rhythm. Down the line for Trong.
Yeah, tough break off the tape. That ball sat up, but you're exactly right, Michelle. I have seen Irakina step up the offense these last 5 minutes or so. She wasn't ready to return. She's got some more words from the referee. The pace of play is definitely factoring in mentally with the players right now.
So after this one, we'll move on to men's doubles. Miami a point away from the freeze. They won't get it there. Trailing by 3 for the Arizona drive. What are you telling them if you're coaching this team? Where are you attacking? Where are you serving? Who are you exploiting? Where are you dinking?
Tough break. I like the move. And I think that staying aggressive with Irakina is the play for them. So I don't think that she is terribly comfortable in those long extended dink rallies, so let her pull the trigger and let Ansbury be that rock over there for her.
Game point sealed by the serving team. Miami takes the women's doubles game, and we will progress on to the men's. How about that finish for Goldberg and Trong, finding their rhythm first?
Very nice. You just got to tip your cap to Trong. Those are very nice speed ups from Irakina, and she handled almost all of them flawlessly. Well played for Miami Pickleball Club with a very solid win in the opening match.
So now the men's will take front and center stage. Adam addressed it in the opening. It is a big storyline unfolding here on Championship Court. Literally 10 minutes before we went on, one of the Arizona Drive men went down. We will revisit that in just a moment. But first, we check in now with Cameron Blackwood, our female pro, standing by with the women winners.
Regina, newer partnership on the other side over there with Sarah and Regina. What was the game plan heading in against them?
First of all, was just being doing our game, be confident, get loose, and after that we found the middle a little open, and it was creating an opportunity for us. So I told Alex, stay aggressive and stick on the pattern, and it worked.
And the weather has been an adjustment this morning. We're supposed to be starting at 8. Now we're starting at 10:30 and 11. How did you switch it on mentally to make sure you're prepared to come out?
I've been super excited leading up to the event yesterday, this morning. So having the whole team here, we got our managers here, some other fans. So it's really nice to have that support. And Jeff Warnick, he's carrying us really.
There you have it. Miami goes up 1-0. We're going to come right back with more Major League Pickleball.
Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, dang, that would have been a good time for me to go to the bathroom. Do you think they were going to?
No, thank you. You need supplements that are backed by science with natural and plant-based ingredients and that are third-party tested. Because cleaner is better. Like Oro Organic. Plant-based supplements made from the Earth's most powerful plants for your immune health, gut health, workouts, and more. Find out more at oraorganic.com.
all-new Prius. Toyota, let's go places.
Oh my good Lord, what a feeling. All of this joy I've been stealing. We all need someone that can make us believe. So call me a man on a mission. I'm guilty by my own admission. Locked up but I break free. No chains could ever take me. Can't stop, won't stop, don't stop now.
I just didn't want to look like everybody else. It just didn't suit who I was. It didn't fit my persona. It didn't fit my image. I rep the stuff because I love it. I rep because it's quality, and I like the fact that I look a little fly. It's been huge because it identifies me. I feel like I stand out. People reference me to the shirts all the time. They know me as the guy who wears the flashy shirts, and I'm cool with that.
Back on championship court here in beautiful San Clemente, California. We are just a couple of miles away from the Pacific Ocean. You can't really see it because it's cloudy and Mother Nature did not like us today, but hopefully this weekend we will continue to bring you some beautiful conditions. Nonetheless, Adam Stone, Michelle McMahon, thrilled to have you with us. Crowd is unfazed by the current weather conditions here at the Lifetime Athletic Country Club of San Clemente, California. How about these grounds for this Major League Pickleball event? Super final lingering on Monday night. This is the challenger level group play. Miami took game one, so we progress on to the men's doubles matchup. Adam, let's start with the biggest storyline, being Anderson Scarpa.
Yes.
Finding out moments before this match that he was in for Andreas Seelstrom, who traveled all the way here from the East Coast and then couldn't go about 10 minutes ahead of the match. So how do you mentally adjust to that if you're the Arizona Drive?
Well, at the same time, you feel a little less pressure as the fill-in, but you're thrown right into the gauntlet. So it is very tough. And this is interesting because we have 4 left side players on the court. Anderson Scarpa plays with Greg Dow. He plays the left, so it is very interesting and not surprising that he's playing the right because he is the fill-in. So Johnson Cola will play the left, and then Brendan Long, as you mentioned, his stock rising, playing so well, makes up more sense that he is on the left over Wes Burrows, given his dominant play on the left side these last couple months.
So if you're used to that left side, how do you adjust then moving over to the right side if you're used to being the aggressor?
That's right. You got to take a little less court, be a little more solid, maybe pick your spots to attack instead of being that dominant force in the middle from the left.
First serve underway. Scarpa comes out big right away on that right side.
Scarpa is no slouch. Let's be very clear about that. He's had some big wins in men's doubles, some solid wins in singles, so this man can play. Did he miss that or did he leave that, Michelle? I'm not so sure. I think he might have just whiffed it.
A little bit of both?
Either way, point for the drive.
Big opening start here for the Arizona Drive, a must-win situation for them. You drop this one, you put yourself in a situation to win both mixed doubles matchups, and you don't have the advantage of reacting.
Nice power there from Brendan Long, and you're exactly right. Not mathematically a must-win, but pretty much. When you go down 0-2 with the talent out here on court, you're in big-time trouble. So absolutely huge to have this quick start.
Long, and here come Miami. Big opening. Couple of points for Brendan Long. Into the net goes Scarpa. We are tied up. Rally scoring can get you in a lot of ways. The serve and return game gets a little more interesting in this format.
They just catch up so quickly in this format.
Big finish for Johnson Cola, one of the veterans of the game. What is it about his style that makes him a good men's doubles partner?
He's 40 plus. That's number one.
Experience. The old veteran on the court. Doesn't play like it, though.
Yeah, that's a very nice spot there from Brendan Long, taking that out of the air. And I would say with Johnson Cola, he has very quality technique, very consistent player, really nice teacher of the game.
Yeah, check out his YouTube channel if you haven't already for tips and tricks.
Yeah, and we saw a very nice drive from him early on, too. Very nice singles prowess, Michelle, and he can drive the pickleball at a very high level. But he needs the pickleball to bounce to hit it, and I'm not sure that serve came up at all.
6-4.
Firefight gone in favor of the Arizona drive.
Yeah, nice exchange from the fellas, and a really good one-handed punch from Scarper right from his chest. Lots of power on that punch.
Brendan Long was all over that firefight.
Yeah, he had a nice finish to it and a nice slide to his right to hit a backhand counter from Burrows. Sometimes when you're not used to the right, it takes a little while to slide. He was right on that with a backhand counter. Well played from Wes.
Anderson Scarpa steps in. He's all over it. Former tennis player out of Mercer University, where he played Division I tennis, and we see that shining through there.
27.
Yeah, a couple serve bounces not coming up. So I believe that's one from each team now. You can really see the reaction of the players after that ball takes an unexpected bounce.
Brendan Long reaches in. He set himself up beautifully for that extension.
Yeah, just a little too high on the dink from his opponent, so he was actually didn't need to get under the ball and lift it. He was able to hit down on that shot, and almost always that seals the deal.
Miami taking a 2-point lead.
Yeah, and a great job. I talked about him hitting down on the previous ball. That one he got underneath from a lower position. This man can create offense from all different spots. Nice dink there. Nice little dink battle, and forcing Johnson Cola to stretch out wide a little more than he wanted to. Error in the net.
Oh, what a dig out from Wes Burrows, and he sets his team up for the end change. They're the first team to 11. How about that one, Adam?
So good, and that is pickleball at its finest. Defense to offense. He didn't just have an amazing get, hang out and wait for the next ball. Amazing get himself and his partner moving forward. Beautifully played, and they're rewarded with an end change.
Adam, is that you, Adam?
Yeah, that's
Are
me.
these your cousins?
Oh yeah, it's the hype. It's the hype
squad.
The hype squad, and their names are Dragon and Nighthawk. By the way,
No
just
way.
in case you were wondering.
You're making that up.
No, I think Nighthawk is apparently a reference to
Step Brothers.
Yes, to Step Brothers. There you go.
Obviously.
So really good stuff going
Maybe
on.
they're my cousins. I don't know.
Hey, the more hype, the better. Let's go.
The hype crew is in the house. Johnson Cola trying to talk things over with his team, and Morgan Evans advising him here. They're in tough water here, trailing by 4 to Miami. Wes Burrows, though, came into this one with a chip on his shoulder. He was dropped by the Arizona Drive, drafted by them in the first round, and was acquired by Miami in the shuffle draft on May 4th as the number 5 overall selection. So that last point, you know he's feeling pretty good about that one.
Hey, they say you want to have a short memory in sports, but I tell you what, he remembers. So he knows, and you know he had just a little extra gas on the fire for this matchup right here.
Costa Mesa, California native.
Right down the road, huh?
Right down the road. It's a hometown crowd for Wes Burrows. Currently based in LA, California. Gets to sleep in his own bed here, too. Brendan Long back to serve. Sincola, the receiver. How about that finish? Anderson Scarpa not going away quietly.
Yes, and I think that Scarpa and Sincola have to find a way to create some offense. Now, Scarpa has had some nice shots, but they're mostly counterattacks. Can they create a little offense and keep Miami off balance?
Scarpa started the pace there, exactly to your point.
Yes, and a great job by him. You don't necessarily have to take that ball out of the air to be aggressive. If it bounces and comes up high enough, you can also release on the ball.
Tough when it's a split-second decision.
It is,
right?
it is. So I was really hoping that Scarpa didn't dink that previous ball. Burrows gets an opportunity himself, but unfortunately clips the tape on that last point. 1 point game.
Anderson Scarpa so big with that extension on the forehand.
Well, I mean, you can create your own offense, or you can have your opponent hit a head-high dink. Both are good situations for you to be in.
Sincola tried to speed it up on Burrows, who was all over the read.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And Sincola's wasn't in a terrible position on that second ball, but way to get down on it from Burrows. Lower than Sincola was expecting.
Tough miss for Burrows there on the forehand dink. So we have a locked up game here, 12 points apiece. Long for Burrows again.
He needs to mash those two shots together. He caught the tape, sails one long, and I don't really hate the decisions. Maybe that first one might have been a little low, but those balls sat up around his belly level, so for him to go for an aggressive shot on that, I don't hate it, just got to find a way to execute.
Wow, what defense. And into the net for Brendan Long. An overhead clinic put on, though, by the Arizona Drive. Couple of chances.
Yeah, some really nice hands from Wes Burrows in the back of the court and the midcourt throughout this match. Good scrappiness.
That dang pickleball, as light as a wiffle ball. Just tough to put away sometimes.
Watch it.
Point of the game so far, and that's a huge one for the Arizona Drive, now taking their biggest lead of the game.
Yes, I love points like that. So good. All four players attacking, resetting, not making poor decisions out there. High-level stuff.
Wes Burrows all over the speed up, high to the forehand.
Oh, and
not going to work.
And he did such a nice job of opening up small. And what I mean by that is taking a nice short stroke down on the ball. Sometimes when you get those higher forehands, you really take that big backswing and it creates an error. Nice control on the short stroke from Wes Burrows.
Miscommunication in the middle. Whose ball's that?
Yeah, I think it is Scarpa's ball as Johnson Cola is off the court, but Wes Burrows hit that with backspin. I think it might have sailed long. We'll never know.
Brendan Long takes it advantage of a net bounce.
Yeah, he hasn't had too many opportunities to speed up off the bounce on the forehand, as you mentioned, clip the tape, so tough there for Miami.
And just like
sorry.
that, tied up.
My bad.
That's okay. 15 all. Big swing from long. Sincola sends it long. Miami takes back a 1-point lead.
That's right, and at a very, very high clip. If Brendan Long can take his backhand out of the air, it is not going to be a dink very often. Great offense from that shot.
Ooh, tough miss. Just got robbed by the top of the tape.
Just pure hesitation, Michelle. That ball was floating, and Scarpa just hesitated for half a second. Look, you can see his feet about a foot, 18 inches off the kitchen line. Hesitation, one of the cardinal sins of pickleball, almost never works out in your favor. Yeah, I think a little bigger on that swing from Burrows than that previous, shoulder level forehand that he received a few points ago. Yeah, you almost always want to return deep, but sometimes a shorter, lower return can throw your opponents off, and that's what happened right there.
Trouble brewing for the Arizona drive. And just like that, they get it back.
Really nice paddle head speed there from Scarpa, whipping through the ball, creating a lot of rotation and spin.
Oh, into the net for Scarpa. Miami 2 points away from taking a 2-0 series lead on Arizona.
Look on Long's face is just priceless. Like, he cannot believe it. Like, how did that not go over? Oh, a one point game in MLP. Shocking. All these matches so tight.
Oh, Scarpa goes inside out.
Yes,
on Long.
That wrist manipulation is very fancy. It's a really quick stroke with not a lot to read there from Scarpa, and definitely giving Miami a little bit of trouble on that forehand speed up.
19-19.
Oh, a missed third for Sincola, just barely missed it.
20-19.
Miami, the first team to 20. They could end it here on their serve. Oh, and that's a heartbreaker for Arizona. Miami takes game number 2 on the men's. How are they able to rally at the end when it seemed like all the momentum was in favor of Arizona?
I just think a little too much offense from the Miami Pickleball Club. That was the difference. Not that the drive were on their heels, but just a little extra initiating of the offense from the Miami Pickleball Club, and they deserved that win, and they got it.
Wow, every point so tightly contested. We would expect nothing less here. Scarpa played really good there, says his usual partner, Greg Dow, and that is very true. He almost stole it for the team and became the hero, stepping in.
That's right. I mean,
for an injured player. That's huge.
I mean, it's the right side recipe: backhand counters and forehand speed ups, and Scarpa did it.
Time now to check in with the third member of our crew, Cameron Blackwood, standing by with Wes Burrows and Brendan Long. Cameron.
Thanks, Mish. Wes, there was a last-minute sub in there with Scarpa. Did that change your strategy coming into this matchup?
You know, I've never played against either of them, so it was just total whatever. And I also don't game plan a whole lot, but I had fun, and you know, those are good guys. We're happy to get the win.
And the women getting the win for you in that first match. How important is momentum in Major League Pickleball for you guys to come back out after them?
Momentum is really important. I mean, especially they had the really close match at the end, so I think the whole team was fired up, and Wes and I were able to bring that right into the start of the match.
There you have it. Miami takes it 2-0. We're heading into mix right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Innovation is our specialty. Winning is his. Zane Navratil has won more than 40 Pro Gold medals and back-to-back Major League Pickleball titles. One of pickleball's most iconic and decorated athletes teamed up with our world-class engineers with one goal in mind: build a paddle that can dominate. The Zane Navratil Signature Paddle, designed for champions by champions. Available now. Pro XR Pickleball. Innovation you can handle.
What are you guys doing?
Getting our duper tattoos.
Oh, cool.
Hey Cameron, how's it going?
Almost done.
Perfect. Can't wait to see your number.
Number?
Duper, because ratings shouldn't be a surprise. Download the app and claim your free profile today.
I haven't even started yet.
Oh. Introducing Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of Major League Pickleball. They're ultra lightweight and responsive for incredible speed. They have Goodyear rubber outsoles with a specialized pickleball design for increased side-to-side stability and agility. Plus, they feature shock-absorbing foam and Skechers' famous relaxed fit design for incredible comfort game after game. Conquer the court in comfort. Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of Major League Pickleball.
Dulce Vida, you are what you drink.
Welcome back to Championship Court here at the Lifetime Athletic Country Club of San Clemente, California. It is the third and final event for Season 1 of Major League Pickleball for 2023. We will start Season 2 in July. Michelle McMahon, Adam Stone in the booth, Cameron Blackwood on the sideline. We move now to our mixed doubles rounds in this series. Remember, the coin toss, Adam and I were talking about at the beginning of this matchup, was crucial for many reasons. We now have 4 choices for the captains, and Miami chose to react. They didn't win the coin toss, but Arizona did. Arizona chose to put women's doubles out first, so then the choice returned to Miami, and their choice was to react, and this is where it came into play with mixed doubles, because Arizona had to put their matchup out first, to which Miami could react to. Adam, give us the scoop.
And we had a little birdie down on the sideline in the form of Cameron Blackwood, who actually said that Miami thought that Johnson Cola and Sarah Ansberry were going to play together. So they were a little caught off guard. They went with the response with Long and Regina Franco as well. But just a little slight thing to mention, caught off guard, and you only have 1 minute to put out which team once that first team puts out their number 1 team. So interesting situation. We mentioned the moving parts of MLP. There's a lot going on, and we're here for all of it.
0-0.
Kina early gets a little lucky on the high forehand of Brendan Long.
Yeah, I don't think she wants to put it there too frequently, but either way, a decent backhand counter from her. She better be ready.
Just Long for Brendan Long. Arizona out to a 2-0 lead, and now it's a must-win situation for them.
Yes, literally.
Mathematically and otherwise.
Yeah, and expect, as I mentioned, Irakina needs to be ready. Brendan Long, I expect to be the most offensive player on court, and the beginning of this match is just what we expected. And a solid partner for him in Regina Franco-Goldberg. Really a rock over there. You know, doesn't have necessarily that electric offense, but man, her defense and her ball-making ability is what keeps her playing at a very high level.
Oh, into the long again, into the long, into the net again for Brendan Long.
Oh,
there we go.
Great point. They were forced back. They got back forward. Some nice mid-court play from Regina Franco-Goldberg, who I believe at her peak was the number 12 ranked racquetball female in the world, Michelle.
That's right. Grew up in Mexico.
Everybody chuckling there. It's a nice move going for the Ernie from Cirkul. Just clips the tape. Nothing he can do there. Clean, slow winner for the Miami Pickleball Club.
Big put away that time for John Sincola.
And
a comfortable lead for them.
Yes, and an awesome read by him, knowing that Brendan Long lost his balance on that Dinka tip, and Sincola was just hovering in the middle, waiting for an offensive opportunity, and he got one.
Sincola has been dominant on his side, and he needs to be.
That's right. Explosive athleticism from the 43-year-old. I love to see it. Sincola, do your thing, buddy.
John Sincola, once again, a former Division I tennis player out of the University of Illinois, Chicago. Started playing pickleball in 2018. You're familiar with his game, Adam?
Oh, yeah. Played him several times.
Good rip from Irakina down the line with the two-handed backhand.
Yeah, that was really nice. Long-handled a couple, nice offense, but Irakina, when she really gets those arms extended and whips through, very heavy ball coming off her paddle.
Into the net goes Long, and Sincola applying a lot of pressure right now. Miami calling a timeout. They need to regroup. Regina Franco and Brendan Long, obviously the duo that they feel most comfortable with to seal this victory, correct?
Yeah, well, some teams go a couple different ways. Okay. So it's like, do you throw out your A team and just squash them at 3-0, or do you possibly throw out your B team and kind of make your A team? Exactly. So they go a little different way, and I think to throw out this Brendan Long and Regina was a good move, as I would consider them not an A and a B team with Trong and Burrows, but more a 1A, 1B. Okay. So pretty close and level, but I do think that is their #1 team with Brendan Long out there, really able to create the offense.
How about for the side of Arizona with their partnerships and decisions, with Sincola going with Katie Irakina, who has never played with this team before?
Right, but a little fun fact here, Sarah Ansberry from Hilton Head, South Carolina, Anderson Scarpa from Charleston, South Carolina. So they have some practice, they're comfortable with each other, so I think it makes sense to throw out Sincola and Irakina and let Ansberry and Scarpa, who have that slight familiarity, play together.
Mention the ownership group of Miami, by the way. How about the Arizona Drive? They have some notoriety on their side as well. Larry Fitzgerald, Devin Booker, Dirks Bentley, a guy named Michael Phelps.
Oh my.
And many others. General manager Morgan Evans in the blue polo for that team. Off goes Brendan Long after a crucial timeout. Now trailing by 6. How do they close the gap? What are they targeting on their side for Miami?
I think they need to continue to be offensive and kind of play their roles with consistent Regina and offensive Brendan. I mean, I understand that the score is relatively lopsided right now, but I think that they have to stick with that, you know, just given the fact that Brendan can really take over a match. Yeah, you have to give some solid credit to Cincola as well, because Regina Franco Goldberg has tried to go behind him a couple times. So Cincola, presence in the middle and covering his backside shoulder very nicely, and that puts Regina in a tough spot. So kudos to John Cincola, playing very well early in this match, or at the halfway point.
John Cincola, as you mentioned, the beginning of this one, as the dancing crowd continues here from Southern California. Cincola was drafted on May 4th with the shuffle draft. He was the #1 overall selection, taken obviously by Miami, or by Arizona rather, and that was a good choice for them for many reasons. Jeannie Irakina, we mentioned the last-minute injury to Heather Nobler, so she steps in as an on-site alternate. There's been injury overload for the Arizona Drive, and it's a team that's struggling. They're at the bottom of the Challenger League right now. Points are at a premium, and they are at a must for the ownership group of Arizona as they're looking at this event, saying, how many points can we collect?
Yes, that's right. Those total standings, so much to play for, and you know you're in the bottom of the barrel. Just scrap. Just try to get to the middle of the pack. You don't need to make that crazy jump. Just inch your way forward, knowing that you have this event and 3 more events in the second half of the year to accumulate points.
11-3.
Nice topspin forehand from Brendan Long, forcing Irakina to the full stretch.
4-11.
Brendan Long coming to life and taking over on his side.
And I like that Regina Franco Goldberg cross-court attack. Now, you don't always want a cross-court attack, but when you have the heavy hands of Brendan Long next to you, it's a situation where you can get away with it a little bit more.
Oh, sometimes that happens on a lofty overhead with a little bit too much time.
Yeah, time is nice, but time can be your enemy as well, Michelle, and I think that's exactly what happened there. Threw off the rhythm of his stroke and almost completely whiffed.
And it's cloudy, but it's still awfully bright in the sky if you're looking up for that overhead.
Yeah, and Brendan Long, I like the offense there, but he is charging to his side of the court before he even finishes his stroke. He has to execute the ball and then recover afterwards. he's aggressively talking to himself, Brendan Long. After that, I'm not sure he's going to get the opportunity to do that every time, but telling himself, just do that, Brendan, just do that. It's easy. Great topspin drop from Brendan Long, forcing Irakina into an uncomfortable position on the half volley. Yeah, just third shot floating for Regina Franco Goldberg, and Irakina knows what to do with it, finishing the point nicely on the forehand side.
Arizona Drive taking a big lead, running away with this first mixed doubles game.
And a big yell from John Cincola. He was very proud of himself after that point, and we are proud of him as well in the booth.
Johnson Cola, he's feeling it.
Yeah, Brendan Long, I think, just doesn't have to be perfect with that shot. And I think when he stepped over to the middle a couple times, just really trying to do a hair too much, trust his hands on the second and the third ball more than trying to finish in one. Just more pressure from Sincola coming forward like a freight train. Well played. Nice combination.
Like a freight train.
That's right.
That's so good. A rare miss from Sincola. He has been spot on this entire game.
Yeah, I heard him from here. He said, "You're there, make it."
8-17.
Speed up by Johnson Cola, saying, my bad, not the right place or time to do it in this sequence.
Yeah, I think it was mostly the spot that he went to. And he recognized his error instantly, just letting Irakina know he will not make that mistake again.
Just long, good leave for Arizona. Not letting Miami take up much ground.
18-9.
Yeah, it's tough as the male on the left. You want to be aggressive in the middle, but when your opponents hit a shot that you can't be aggressive on, it's so hard to let up and play a soft shot. Tough there for the drive, or the Miami, sorry. That's twice now, shoot.
It's morning for us all. Jeannie Irakina just grabs the sideline.
You see,
a little fist bump.
Yes, you see the instant shoulder drop for both Miami Pickleball Club players. Like, really? You kept that ball in? She did, though.
Game point for Arizona. And Irakina hits an out ball. Sincola laughing it off.
Well, it's easy to laugh it off at 2010.
Yeah,
that's for
exactly.
sure. 2019, it might have had a different reaction.
So reminder, Arizona is on the freeze. They can only win on their serve as they are the first team to 20. This gives Miami a bit of an advantage here to be a little bit more aggressive as the serving team to gain up some ground. Ooh, what a grab from Goldberg. Reaches in, and then Irakina and Sincola find the angle. They take back game point on Irakina's serve. Johnson Cola with a big put away in a must-win situation. So look out. Here come the Arizona drive. They get this mixed doubles game in their favor. They could still even it out with the second mixed doubles matchup. So now the plot thickens here on championship court. How about the performance of Johnson Cola, though? He was huge.
Very good. He played a nice, controlled offensive game. And the time or two that I have seen Irakina play, it's been women's doubles. She was very aggressive, and I think she did a nice job of pulling back, playing a supporting role, having some nice mid-court play and some nice dinks to set up her partner. They were firing on all cylinders, and you can see that in the score at 21-10.
Time now to check in with the third member of our crew, our female pro, Cameron Blackwood, standing by with Johnson Cola and Jeannie Irakina.
Thanks, Mish. A must-win for you guys out here. Why did you choose this team to go first, and what was so special about this partnership?
I was pretty comfortable in John to go into that match because he's just an amazing partner, and we practiced a bunch with him, so that worked out, and I'm super happy about it.
And you guys took the lead well ahead, right, coming into this before the change-up. It seemed like they had no answers. What about this team is so difficult to beat?
I know Brendan plays a lot like I do, super aggressive, and so it was just a matter of like, Jeannie played amazing setting me up, which allowed me to be patient and wait for my opportunities and made it happen, so.
There you have it. AZ gets a point on the board. We're heading into our next mix right after this.
At From with Pickleball, we believe in the power of our sport to unite a community. We have introduced hundreds of people to pickleball by funding a 10-court public facility in our hometown with leagues and lessons to make everyone feel valued. We take that same approach to our business with personalized customer service and same-day shipping from our huge inventory. When you order from with Pickleball, you're supporting a small business and a diverse community of pickleball fanatics. We have the gear you need and the service you can trust.
It's hard to find supplements that work. No, thank you. You need supplements that are backed by science with natural and plant-based ingredients and that are third-party tested. Because cleaner is better. Like Oro Organic. Plant-based supplements made from the Earth's most powerful plants for your immune health, gut health, workouts, and more. Find out more at oraorganic.com.
I'm a natural born hustler, just like my mama said, hard times never go away. Natural born hustler, when the world wants you to sink or swim, I ain't gonna go.
Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs and 95 calories.
Second mixed doubles matchup. Arizona Drive in a must-win situation. Wes Burrows comes out big on the backhand. So if you're Sarah Ansberry and Anderson Scarpa, who, by the way, just found out he was playing in this matchup with this team, what's your approach here?
Yes, I expect the Arizona Drive to be a little more patient and try to get forward, and I expect Trong and Burrows to really go for it with third shot drives and big offensive play. And as I mentioned, Scarpa, probably mixed doubles is his weakest of the three events, so we'll see how much court he covers and how big he plays in this mixed doubles matchup.
Down the middle for Scarpa. Doesn't seem to have a problem there. Why would that be if that's his weakest, if he's such a strong left side player?
Well, actually, a lot of it has to do with work with him and Greg Dow, and mixed doubles on some of the tours is earlier in the before the weekend, and he's unable. He ran through the kitchen. I just love how he ran out like maybe he wouldn't see that kitchen violation. So I think it's more from actual court time than a skill set perspective why he has not had some of the results in mixed.
Down the middle for Scarpa again, looking awfully dominant here so far in this mixed doubles duo.
It's been quite a while since I played him, but that forehand out there looks like it has more pace and spin than I remember. And you can see he has a very interesting grip on that backhand side. He really gets the tip of the paddle down more than most players. Interesting dink technique from Scarpa.
So big with a flick. down the line against Trong, who's questioning why she put it there.
Well, it's tough. She's got Scarpa in front of her and then a very accomplished dinker and Sarah Ansberry cross court from her. Her decision making is going to be huge in this match. Yeah, so it's going to be big. Can Arizona force Miami into longer points, more kitchen play, where I think they have a slight advantage? If it gets a little too chaotic and shorter points, slight favor to Miami Pickleball Club.
Oh, what a grab from Burrows. Snagged it and then finishes it cross court with a nifty angle.
Yeah, you're right. Crazy snag about halfway through that point. I believe the ball was about 2 feet behind him and he still got it back in play. Crazy hands from Wes Burrows. Yeah, too low there from Scarpa. And it'd also be interesting to monitor Burrows, who very solid offensive player on the forehand side, but not a ton of offense on the backhand. We'll see how that plays out with him on the left.
An angle there for Anderson Scarpa, looking for some life on his side. That was just a simple counterpunch, and he made it look easy. It's not. The drive take the 1-point lead.
Yeah, nice job on the drop volley from Wes Burrows. You can see Sarah Ansberry with that brace on her knee. Definitely affects her movement a little bit. A tough break there from Trong, who I think made a pretty good decision going behind Scarpa, but just got that paddle, kept it out in front, and was able to create a nice angle behind Wes Burrows. A couple nice short stroke counter punches from Scarpa early.
Ooh, ATP attempt denied for Ansberry. Miami ties it up.
Yeah, great forehand roll from Burrows, stepping in front of Trong and able to create a fantastic angle and keep it in play.
Big finish for Anderson Scarpa.
Yeah, and as you will see when that ball clips the tape, the opponent will often mutter things under their breath. That's what we saw from Alex Trong there. Very frustrating.
Wes Burrows steps in.
Unfortunately for Ansberry, she said "you" after that ball was past both of them, so that partner communication will not help them.
Just so you know, that ball was yours. Finish there, though, from Anderson Scarpa. And you mentioned them being able to play together, Ansberry and Scarpa. It's just still impressive to me, though, that Anderson Scarpa slept last night, didn't have any idea that he was playing this morning. And maybe it's better to have the surprise.
Yes,
no time to lose sleep.
I think you're right, and we're getting into some really serious stuff here in pickleball in general and Major League Pickleball. There's real pressures out there. There's big money involved, so maybe not having that anxiety of knowing you're going to play could make you play your best. but he went for it. Little low position. Haven't seen him pull too many triggers with the two-handed backhand off the bounce. He was looking for the middle of the court, but caught the net, unfortunately. Yes, and I know that one clipped the tape, but that is one of the best aspects of Sarah Ansberry's mixed double game is her setup off of her very aggressive third shot. So nice to see that combination, even though it was net assisted.
Arizona, the first team to 11, up by 2, so we will have an end change. And if Arizona can hold up this pace, that means we're going to our very first Dream Breaker.
Oh, Dream Breaker still in play, Michelle? Oh, okay, let's go. Let's go.
And if that happens, who has the stronger singles team, you think?
Okay, so man, all these all these switches in and out. Wow, I would say that is a pretty even matchup in singles. Sincola, very accomplished singles player, but both long. Up. I'll dig a little deeper and find out if I can get a slight edge on paper, but I don't see a clear-cut favorite. Both Ansberry and Regina Franco-Goldberg a little bit weaker on the single side, so they kind of match up nicely throughout the lineup.
Making her mark on pickleball since 2014, won nationals in 2015. She's the lead pro down in Hilton Head, South Carolina.
Yeah, I believe that's the Palmetto Dunes in Hilton Head, and she's been there for a while.
Not bad accommodations.
Oh, I'd say so. I've been there quite a few times. Beautiful place.
How about that feathery touch from Wes Burrows?
Yeah, nice shot from Wes, and great decision as Sarah Ansberry was behind the baseline in total scramble mode. Yeah, I think that is gonna have to be something for Trong on the where she attacks. She's had a little hesitancy, not quite sure where to go with her speed ups. Good look from Burrows, just overcooked it with a little too much swing.
Trong, by the way, just 18 years old, one of the younger players on tour. Big put away from Wes Burrows. He stayed patient and earned it.
Yep, that's what it takes these days. 5 or 6 good shots. If you lose focus for a second and you think the point is over, you are going to be in trouble.
How about that? Comeback brewing for Miami, now trailing by 1.
Wes Burrows definitely a better all-around player, but when he burst on the scene, big-time shake and bake, drive and crash player, so we see some of that old offense coming out.
Wes Burrows, 36 years old. Ooh, that ball was sailing out of bounds.
Yeah, so you rarely want to drive from the midcourt. I think that was a good time as that ball was sitting up, but you were exactly right, Michelle. That was going to hit the back fence. Scarpa couldn't pull the paddle back.
Finish from Alex Strong, going right at Anderson Scarpa.
I said her spots are going to be important. She caught him leaning to the middle, and she picked a great spot on that up-the-line attack with the forehand.
Long for Scarpa. Miami now takes over the lead.
Yeah, and his backhand is a little more, he kind of pokes it as opposed to really gets a lot of spin. So that makes it tougher for him to attack from a lower position, as say for an example of Brendan Long, who really gets a lot of spin on the ball. So Scarpa is going to have to be a little more patient and wait for a better ball that's a couple inches higher to be offensive with.
So Miami has shifted the momentum. It was seemingly in favor of Arizona, the South Carolina natives. on the side of Miami. What's changed for them to create a bit of momentum and to take this 2-point lead, Adam?
I mean, well, it's very simple. It's just playing a cleaner, better game, making more balls, not giving those freebies to their opponent. And we can see when you're making those shots, putting more balls in play, we've seen Trong have a couple tough decisions where to go to the attacks. If you're making those early errors, you don't put that doubt in your opponent's head, and that is a huge deal.
You made a point earlier that you're not supposed to drive from the middle of the court. For those of us who struggle to really apply this concept, why is that?
Well, it's
from your vantage point.
Well, one thing is it doesn't allow you to get forward. You have a lot less time. The ball gets back on you quicker. And when you're playing a competent team at your level or a little above, if they're at the kitchen and you're not, you better get up, because if you start pulling triggers from the back of the court, you're going to be in trouble. And I'll tell you right now, Michelle, everyone out here is very competent. So you got to pick your spots.
I was referring to me, but that's fine, Adam. Thank you. All the pros competent. But our viewers.
Oh, okay. I see what you were saying. Yes.
Viewers
and
it's the less competent players, Adam.
And it's
for
tough.
The people.
Yes. So I mean, occasionally hitting hard and low can be a good option, but I just really like those drops. Force your opponents to hit up on the ball and get your butt to the kitchen line. That's where everyone needs to be.
For those of us who want to shake and bake at every opportunity we get. You're welcome, viewers. All right, Westboro's tags Sarah Ansberry. Apologizes, but how about this, jumping out to a pronounced 5-point lead, 3 away from taking the match. This would be huge for Miami.
I like it. Keep being aggressive with that pressure. Shrink the court, as I say. When you make that pressure in the middle, really squeezes your opponent, gives them such a small window to hit into. And as I say that, 0 for 2 now from Westboro's coming to the middle of the court those last 2 points. Still like it, though.
15, 18.
Definitely a point of emphasis for the Miami Pickleball Club, as he has gone to that drop volley 3, if not 4 times in this match, and I believe that is a 100% success rate for Westboro's.
16, 19.
Slight miscommunication in the middle.
Arizona coming right back, trailing by 2. A chance to close in and narrow the 2-point gap. Not going to do it that time with a miss into the net. So Miami takes match point on their side. They can only win on their serve. Frozen on 20, they could do it right here on the serve of Alex Trong. She drops it in and closes it out. Miami Pickleball Club takes victory number 1 here on center court. How were they able to rally and eclipse a comeback match win here?
Yes, it was an awesome job from them, because let's be clear, Ansberry and Scarpa came out pretty hot. They were firing. Scarpa had some nice speed ups early. So for Burroughs to Trong to stay focused, stay under composure, play their game, and allow West Burroughs to have some nice solid play in the middle of the court. They earned the game victory and the match victory. Good for them.
All the pressure was on Trong and Burroughs to get the job done for their team this morning. And Miami takes the opening win as we check in now with Cameron Blackwood standing by with the winners.
Wes, they really wanted to slow the game down, and it was really working in their favor. What adjustments did you have to make to speed it up and take this match?
I just had to sort of force myself to run around and get a little energy going, because they were going to slow it down, and that's not my best, foot forward. So.
And Alex, youngest on the team, but team captain here. What's the conversation you had with your team before stepping out on court?
Just go for it, really. I mean, all of us, we get along really well. We all have great games, and when we put it together, I mean, it's incredible what we can do. And so I'm really excited to move forward today, and so hopefully we can make it on to tomorrow.
There you have it. Miami Pickleball Club takes the win against the Arizona Drive. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.